Be careful with your education. Be not lazy in learning new things. Crucially is information. Wealth is based on learning. Health is built on learning. Profusion is based on learning. Learning is the cornerstone of democracy and freedom. Learning starts the process of developing all values and qualities. Thus, avoid slowness in your learning process. Get active in compiling the tools that will inform and guide you. Money doesn't make you sophisticated. Only study and practice can do that. Only study and practice make you cultured. And only study and practice lead to happiness. Study and practice lead to prosperity. Key point: don't be lazy in learning. Learn first how to perform next. Learn how to live well. Don't be lazy in learning and practicing the art of economics. Practice the art of productivity and mastering the art of a successful living. Success is a numbers game. I urge you to be mature enough to track your own growth. How many books have you read in the last 90 days? Transform your life. Become cultured, powerful, sophisticated, healthy, influential, and obtain all the things you desire. How many books? How many courses? How committed are you to exploiting what is available and turning it into meaningful value? We are lucky to live in a country where unparalleled opportunities exist. That's what diaries are for. That's what a pad and pencil are for. That's what taking notes is for. If you can't boost your ability to grasp life, changing concepts and knowledge, don't skip the chance to study. Take key phrases home with you and use them in your growth. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be casual about your learning. Develop a new intensity for the 90s where you will not miss the information, the stories, or the details. Get clever. Here are a few crucial points. First, reflect on your own experiences. If you've had a poor week, take a moment to analyze it. Study it and see what lessons you can learn. Then, make the next week better. Learn from your mistakes. One way to learn how to do something well is by doing it wrong, at least once. But the trick is not to allow that mistake take too long to remedy. If you've been doing something wrong for a year, that's ample time to learn the lesson. You don't need another year to prove a point. This is the chance for life change, and it starts with knowledge. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be sluggish in assimilating new concepts. Don't be lazy in learning from your own experiences. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of life transformation. Some people assume motivation is the starting point, but it's not. Motivation alone doesn't work. If a person is uneducated, inspiring them merely makes them a motivated fool. No, education is vital. Get clever. Don't miss any training opportunities. You might respond, I've already attended one of those seminars. But just because you've heard something once doesn't imply you've mastered it. I propose you listen to those millionaire CDs again and over. Commit to a new level of study. Study, grow, and develop. Never let it be said that you didn't learn correctly. If you want to fix your difficulties, you need to learn. If you want to take every chance, you have to constantly learning. The opportunity you have here is to learn and construct your own particular philosophy. Your philosophy is a crucial element in influencing how your life turns out. Each person's philosophy is like the set of a sail. The same wind blows on us all. The difference in where we reach at the end of the week, month, or year is not the wind. It's the set of the sail. That's what makes the major difference. Each person's unique ideology dictates their direction. A better philosophy sets a better sail. So don't beg for a more favorable wind. It's like praying for something that won't happen. Don't beg for better seed or better soil. You've already got what's available. Don't curse what you have. The goal is to set a better sail and turn what you've got into the miracle of your future. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems. Hope for greater talents. That's why you're here. Spending these days in deep learning, taking notes, rolling up your sleeves, and putting in the work. Commit to learning so you can get smarter for the days ahead. Life is worthwhile if you learn. You've got to have knowledge. When I speak to students, I tell them that get the information while you're here. What you do with it is up to you. You can throw it away. That's your option. You can utilize simply a bit of it. That's your option too. But while you're here, get it all. Write this down. What you don't know will hurt you. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is tragedy. Ignorance is sickness. Ignorance leads to catastrophe. Ignorance leads to being broke. Ignorance creates a poor life. So you've got to know. You need the information. First, learn from your personal experience. One approach to learn how to do anything well is to first do it wrong. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just clean up the mess and do it right the next time. Negative events can teach us the beneficial things that preserve our lives and make us successful. They claim if you survive your first heart attack, you may go on to live a very long life. Why? Because that first heart attack was a wake-up call. Maybe the doctor says, one more of these, and you're done. That shocks you awake. So you change. You hurry to the health food shop. You start reading every book on nutrition. You start exercising. And that transformation could help you live a long, healthy life. Learn from both terrible and positive experiences. Next, learn from other people's experiences. That's how you get smarter in less time. Someone spends 5 years learning a lesson, produces a book about it, and for just hours, you can obtain the same knowledge in a few hours. You can't afford to miss that kind of education. It's best to obtain the facts before calamity occurs. Yes, we can recover from bankruptcy, ill health, and failure. But how much better would it be if we got the knowledge up front and saved years of struggle? So, learn from others, both their accomplishments and their faults. Develop the ability to absorb. Get everything you can. I don't sure what all you have planned here, but be at every lesson, every session. Stay as long as you can. Well, the trick is to not be casual in gaining knowledge. Don't be casual about the concepts that could quadruple your health, increase your income, and speed your achievement. Your career secures your money, increases your harvest. So don't be casual in gathering ideas. Absorb whatever you possibly can. The whole world is regulated by laws. The universe itself by laws. We call it the law of electricity, the law of gravity. There are mathematical rules, physical laws, speed and velocity laws, agricultural laws. There are all kinds of laws. Now that we find ourselves on this spinning world, we merely have to master what I call the setup. Learn the setup. Life's setup. Now, we didn't set it up, but we're here. So you've got to learn it. And we should learn the setup for 2 primary reasons. Number 1, to keep from getting wounded. That's one of the key reasons for learning, so you won't be wounded. Economically, socially, personally, you can get damaged merely by not knowing. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is tragedy. You've got to know, or you're going to get wounded. It's wonderful to know not to step out a 10-story window. That's excellent information. Now, what if a guy didn't know and goes out? Now he's dead at the bottom. Somebody says, well, the poor guy didn't know. You've got to know, or you're going to get harmed. Okay, now here's a parenthesis. You don't have to like the setup. I don't ask you to enjoy how it is. That's not what's important, but it is vital to learn how it is. So you don't have to enjoy it, but you should learn it. That's what I teach the kids. Make sure you acquire the knowledge. What you think of it, that's up to you. What you do with it, well, that'll soon be up to you. But make sure you get it. C. There's nothing worse than being foolish. Being broke is horrible, but being stupid is awful. And what's really horrible is being broke and foolish. Right? That's about the end of the world. There isn't anything much worse than that. Unless you're sick. Sick, broke, and foolish. That's it. There's nowhere else to go. So make sure you get the information. It's crucial. You don't have to like it, but learn it. It's called Your Basic Smarts. So number 1, learn so you won't be wounded. Whether you like it or not, learn. Now, here's the second reason for mastering this setup. To benefit. It's called the plus of life. And that's what life is, right? Both minus and plus. The negative represents tragedy, pain, sadness, failure, unhappiness. But life is also happiness, riches, nice sentiments. So here's the key. Learn to get on the good side of the way things work. Now, in improving our life, we don't start with attitude. We don't start with inspiration. Here we start with education. Somebody says, well, I expected you to just come get me motivated today. Well, that probably won't do it. No, that's not where you start. Life change does not start with inspiration. Life change starts with education. You've got to be educated to the point where you know where you might have messed up. My teacher said it in frank, plain words. He just went to the 9th grade in school, so he expressed it in simple words I could comprehend. He said, Mr. R. After 6 years living in America, healthy, American male, 25 years old, been working 6 years, 1 year of college. Pennies in your pocket, nothing in the bank, behind on your promises. I just got one simple explanation for that. You've messed up. Now, I could understand that kind of language. Should walk around the block. Could stroll around the block. Won't walk. Around the block, you've messed up, and all you have to do is go through the list. You don't need a teacher to come by and tell you what to do. Be your own best teacher. For example, say, hey, let me make a list of the places I've messed up. If I let this slip, let that slide, it probably impacts the rest. And the answer is, that's true. We don't start with inspiration. We start with education. Someone could argue, well, just motivate this guy, and he'll be all right. But merely inspiring someone isn't enough. If someone is clueless, you motivate them. And now you've got a motivated, clueless person. They still won't be okay. So, we start with education. What's the first lesson? If things aren't going well, and you live in America, you've messed up. You don't need to change nations. Saying the country is messed up is like condemning the soil, the seed, the sunshine, and the rain. All of which you need. Don't curse what you've got. When you obtain your own planet, you can rearrange everything. But for now, take things as they come. Someone asked me, how many books have you read in the last 90 days? I said, 0. There's wisdom available in the world that can change your life, your future. Wisdom that can help you learn any talent you want, earn the income you want, and cultivate the relationships you desire. All of it is available to you through the wisdom of the world. But I hadn't read any novels in the last 90 days. My teacher said, Mr. Run, you've folded up. I'm telling you, you've got the deal. He asked, Mr. R, in the last 6 months, how many classes have you taken to sharpen your abilities or develop new ones? How many classes have you taken to go after the American dream to become affluent, powerful, sophisticated, healthy, and influential? I said, how many? 0. He said, you've folded up. You don't need to fix the country. You don't need to straighten out everything around you. All you need to do is look within and let the outcomes educate you a great deal about your own behaviors, attitude, and philosophy. I went through that procedure, and here's the main takeaway. Outcomes are the name of the game. What other game is there? Part of the personal development path is to develop mentally, learn, study, grow, and change. That's what schooling is all about. Human development needs time, immense quantities of time. That's why we've taken the time for this seminar. Some subjects can't be covered in a 20-minute speech or a 5-minute discussion. It takes time, especially for people. It looks like humans need more time than any other life form. Take the wildebeest in Africa. Guess how much time it has from birth to be able to run with the pack so it doesn't get devoured by lions? A few minutes. Not hours, not days, but for humans, unbelievable. After 16 years, we're still not sure. That's how much time it takes. So personal development takes time. Spiritual development requires time. Physical development requires time. But here's what also takes time: your mental development. Feeding the intellect. Some people read so little, they develop rickets of the intellect. They couldn't form a solid justification for their own opinions. You need to be able to embrace beliefs, understand philosophies, and, here's the key, be able to defend them. If you can't defend your convictions, then what do you truly have? Virtues are crucial, and if you can't defend your beliefs, I'm telling you, even in the 90s, you'll fall victim to views that aren't in your best interest. You need to prepare yourself. And that preparation is not simply physical or spiritual. You have to prepare psychologically. And this is where Sha helped me. He taught me to be intellectually prepared to construct a philosophy and to defend my ethics and principles. Don't be a follower. Be a student. I'm delighted to say that today we're not here seeking for disciples. We don't have a movement for you to join. I'm merely here to share my experiences and offer useful suggestions to the best of my ability. But the advice I want to impart is this: don't be a follower, be a student. Take counsel, but don't take instructions. Take in information, but don't allow anyone determine your life. Make sure that what you do is the outcome of your own conclusions. Here's a crucial tip to remember. Make sure your actions come from your own conclusions, not from someone else's orders. Take what others say, digest it, think it through, and if it makes you ponder or wonder, then it's valuable. When you decide to take action, ensure that it's your own choice, not something someone told you to do. If you follow these simple criteria, your learning process can be rapid, powerful, and effective. Your learning curve can skyrocket. And when you apply it to your business, life, family, and interactions, you'll notice success. Just like I did in those first 5 years after meeting a teacher who was eager to share his insight. My life entirely changed around in ways I never expected. Develop the skill to reflect. Part of the challenge is not putting these notes away when you go home, but getting them out often over the next 30, 60, or even 90 days. Review your notes often to increase your understanding and refine your views. I promise you, as you review them, you'll discover stuff you missed while you were taking the notes. This is why reviewing is so important. Go over it again and again. I call it running the tapes. The tape in your thoughts and the tape from your notes. See if you can capture something you might have missed or design an extension of something you've already learned. By revisiting the information, you may learn how to use it in a way that enhances the worth of your life exponentially. 2x, 3x, even 5x. Here's a perfect moment to reflect at the end of the day. Think about how it went, who you saw, what you said, what mistakes you made, and what you missed that you may remedy tomorrow. Reflect at the end of the month, too. 30 days is when you generally complete an accounting for your business. So why not do the same for your health? If you needed to lose weight, how many pounds have you lost? Perform a reflective accounting. How did it go? Where did you stumble? What did you miss? What might you have done better? What should you have thought about but let pass by? Look back at the last 6 days. What went right? What's missing? Now here's what you do. Plan the next 6 days using the insights from the last 6. You'll be shocked at the value and productivity you can uncover in your weeks if you start following this method.